In a world of dungeons, dragons, and devious DMs, 4 adventurers set out to save the mysterious land of Blaelflow.
I'm Frank Bunty, Dwarven Paladin and all-round badass. I like nothing more than righting wrongs and smiting evil.
I'm Bonarail, a half-elf rogue that'll rob you blind and mess you up.
I'm Lord Sugar, a human wizard noble. I'm rich, I'm better than everyone, and I set fire to everything.
I'm Draco Justice, Dragonborn Monk. For when justice calls, who will answer? I will. I'm Draco Justice.
And I'm Doddy, the resident DM. I'll be throwing everything at these guys, including the kitchen sink. Ooh, a mimic kitchen sink.
Nerd OD&D from the Nod Network. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, and wherever else you get podcasts.
I was dubious this time around because I'm like, I don't think I've got anything to talk about.
Well,
and then turns out
Tony Hawk's and Scott Pilgrim's all it takes.
Yeah.
There's your hour.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Nerd OD podcast with your most fantabulous host, Reginaldo III.
And your less fantabulous host, Dan.
Dan,
the only.
You
Dan,
are
the one and only.
The most fantabulous co-host I could ever dream of.
It's a good job because I'm the only one.
Are you the only one? So, just quickly going off topic straight away.
So I've already mentioned something that's made your head go, oh, I need to talk about that.
So, you know how 2020 was a bit pants and they had lots of really hard decisions that people had to make and whatnot? Well, on Twitter at the beginning of January, the Bare Naked Ladies fan page thing has started doing a Gordon elimination.
Okay, but you vote for your favourite song, yeah?
So you vote for your least favourite.
Okay.
Which one you want to get eliminated, and you keep dropping through. And it's that genuinely is so fucking hard. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how so many people were like, yeah, get rid of what a good boy. And I was like, no. Like, What a Good Boy is like the second best Bare Naked Lady song. And then people are like, yeah, but the album version's rubbish compared to the Rock Spectacle version. And I'm like, yeah, the Rock Spectacle version is good, but you can't get rid of it. Like, I won't allow it. You just can't. And it's been so heartbreaking watching some of my favorite songs get eliminated straight away. And I'm like, wow, this is just a really, really tough call. And it's just when I thought 2021 was going to get a lot better, turns out it starts off quite harsh. Yeah. And while I was on Twitter having a mooch around just then, someone is actually playing Pokemon Red on their Twitter feed. So their Twitter profile picture is every 15 seconds getting replaced with whatever the most commented selection of button choices. And he's literally just playing Pokemon Red that way through. So people can play his game for him. He's just going to do it. So every 15 seconds, he looks at his comment feed and it says right, left, or attack, or whatever it is if he's in a battle. And it just seems like a really, really fucking bizarre thing to do. I know they did the Twitch plays Pokemon, and that seemed quite insane. But this guy was just like, yeah, I'm going to beat that. What's his name? Konstantin Leotard. Is his name. If you fancy jumping on board, his Twitter profile name is @ScreenShakes, and at the minute he is currently running through a field.
I don't understand how these things work because it's there's this. They did that Twitch plays like you said, and they did the one with the fish and stuff where it swims into certain sectors of his fish tank and it activates a certain button, but I could play a game like that and I could very easily lose and I know what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
So how does a random factor of, 1,000 people on Twitter saying left, right, up, down, right, attack? How does that work? How do you get anywhere?
I don't know. Well, at the minute he's losing drastically from the look of it.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Apparently he's had to keep restarting it. Right. But he just sits on this Twitter feed and just gets the most commented comment. And he's like, right, that's what I'm going to do then. And it just seems utterly ridiculous.
It does.
But it's already got 36,500 comments.
These things are very popular. More popular than us. So who are we to comment, Reg?
I know, right? I think we need to create something like this.
Okay.
I could do a Twitter play Shenmue.
I mean that absolutely. I don't see why not. That would get a little bit of interest for the beginning, I think. And
it would be so hard because, like, at least the Game Boy games is literally just like, you press up and it moves up a couple of tiles, whereas Shenmue, like, up. I'm like, okay. And I take like half a footstep, and I'm like, right, this is going to be
someone would have to set up a Twitter bot, which was just every like 15 seconds, it just tweeted press the run button.
Yeah.
just to make sure it moves along a little bit.
100%. 100%. But, yeah. Anyway, sorry, I just completely went off one on that. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm not too bad. I have been thoroughly engrossed in reliving my teenage years over the past 2 days. That's right, Reg. I've been playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Finally happened. Welcome to the Nerdity Podcast, where we talk about games that came out months ago, which is actually better than our usual years ago, which is usually what I talk about. Although technically these did come out years ago.
Yeah, you weren't really selling that one, mate, to be honest.
No, exactly. But it's bizarre. Even just like the music, like the game starts and it starts playing a little video of Tony Hawk skating around, and then suddenly the drums kick and the guitar kick in for Rage Against the Machine Guerilla Radio, and I was like immediately back playing it on the Dreamcast. Yes, I played it on the Dreamcast, not the PlayStation 1. I think I had 1 and 2 on the Dreamcast, and then I got 2X in the States for the Xbox. It never came out over here. And then I got 3 and 4 and Underground 1 and Underground 2 and American Wasteland, and I think that's where I called it a day. But yeah, played a lot of Tony Hawk's in my day.
You did. It was always the one game I was terrified of playing you against.
We had a video, didn't we, where we did Underground we played it on the 360, I think.
We did.
That was fun. Indeed. You made Frank Bunty.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
The thing I loved about it back in the day was being quite good at it. I'm not going to say really good because I'm sure there are people out there who are just amazing, but being pretty good to the point where I could quite nicely complete everything. I could get every collectible. I could, finish the word skate in every level. I could do all the tricks it wants you to do over these gaps and grind on top of a police car, all that sort of stuff with no problems, and I could 100% the game because this was before achievements were a thing.
Yeah, like how annoying is that? Like all the games that we are literally like fantastic at or great at because we spent our like youth doing it.
Yeah.
There's no way to say like I could say to Oliver when he's older, he's like, oh mate, yeah. Mario. Yeah, I was like, I completed that one time in like 3 minutes because I'm fucking elite. And it was like I stomped like 1,000 Goombas on like mission 2, and you didn't even know that was possible. If someone said that these days, I'd be like, oh really? I'm just gonna check your game score. All right, well it turns out you don't have the achievement for doing that.
I see.
Whereas back in the day, I can say whatever I want to say and get away with it because there's no proof I didn't, which is just weird. Apart from pride, like pride will be like, honestly, Oliver, I'll prove it. Look, stick it on.
Yeah, true. It's not
for it, and then my reflexes are that awful now that I'll be like, oh, like I didn't realize how bad my reflexes had become until I played Shenmue again, the re-release.
And the quick time events and
doing like the QTEs, and I was like just struggling to get to it on time, and I was like, oh my god, like this is not good. Like I'm getting old now.
One of my all-time favorite bits in Shenmue though comes from a failed quick time event, and I'll say one of my all-time favorite bits in 3 because it made me audibly laugh out loud You know, in Shenmue 3, you're running through the shopping district. I think you're chasing after someone, and there's a girl is she on top of a ladder or something like that?
Yeah.
She's climbed up the ladder, and then one of the guys goes to kick it out of the way, and you can catch her. That's your quick time event to catch her, and that'll get you. That'll mean you'll complete this bit a bit faster. But if you miss her, she literally does an Iron Man superhero landing on the pavement. I remember getting it the first time and going, phew, I saved it. And the second time, after I failed later on, running through and I missed it. And I was like, oh no, the girl's going to die. Oh no, she's not dead. She's Iron Man. Right. It's just a little thing like that I really liked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew that I'd got everything on all the old Tony Hawk's games. That was great. That was a really good feeling. But the age we're living in now, like to get everything, and not even just achievements, just to 100% the game. Like I've done every level on Tony Hawk's 1 now. I got it yesterday, by the way. So yeah, played it quite a lot.
Christ.
It's not that big. It's you know, it's
But
it's
still,
pretty. Yeah, it's
that is a
fairly short, and as long as you know where to put your stat points, you can get further a lot quicker.
mate, I think it took me about 6 months to beat Tony Hawk's 1 when I got it. Well, you've seen me play it.
Fair
Like,
enough.
I am not good at it. I love it. I genuinely love Tony Hawk's, the series.
Yeah.
I think they're phenomenal games, and I really enjoy playing them. But I'm just awful at them.
Fair enough.
They are just so much fun to play, which is
Really,
why
really is. But I'm really looking forward to getting into 2 because 2 was the one that started it.
yeah, it's the daddy in it too. Like,
Yeah, I didn't have the first one when it came out, and I never played it until well after getting number 2, and I had a demo of number 2 on the PC, and I played it. So this was with a keyboard as well. I didn't even have a controller.
wow.
It was on a
I
keyboard.
couldn't imagine playing
remember,
Tony Hawk's with a keyboard, man.
No, but
mental.
But I did, and I got it, and I played it, and this one level I played over and over and over again until I found all these ridiculous little tricks to get loads of points, and I was like, "Wow, this is great!" And then I eventually got something I could play it on. I didn't want to buy it on the PC, because like you say, keys. And then I got a Dreamcast. I was told I was going to get a PS1, and I got talked out of buying a PS1 and told to get a Dreamcast because I was a gamer. And a gamer would appreciate a Dreamcast, and I was like, all right, that's what I'll do. And I never looked back. But anyway, my point is,
One of the best decisions you've ever made.
you've not only got to get every level you've got to spell skate, you've got to collect the 5 collectibles, you've got to get certain scores, you've got to get a certain combo, and things like that. But there are all the gaps. So you've got the gap between this ramp and this ramp, the roof gap, the taxi gap, and none of them are pointed out to say this is where that is. So you've got about 20 to 30 on each level. So to just the amount of time it's going to take to go through every level, to find all that, I don't think I've got the patience. But I'm quite happy that I've at least 100%ed the tasks.
Nice.
But there's a lot to do, and I'm never going to get platinum. To be fair, I don't get platinum anyway. I now play games on not the absolute lowest difficulty, like when they go the story difficulty where there's no combat. We'll just get you through a story. I just play stuff on easy now, purely because I want to play it and experience the game and the story and get through it. I don't want to just get stuck.
I don't want to challenge.
Yeah, no, there's still challenge in it.
You just
like
want
Mass
an
Effect
interactive
Andromeda, there was still plenty of. I mean, I probably can't on hand the amount that my character died, but not including falling off cliffs and stuff, like actually getting shot and dying. But it still felt, it didn't feel like I was just oh, baddie, one shot dead. It still had the challenge to it, but it was just nice to be able to get through it without getting stuck on bits.
I love the fact that I'm I've got a kid who hardly got any time now. I'm like, I'm gonna have to drop difficulty down, so I'll start playing games on medium. And you're just like, yeah, I'm just I just can't be asked. I'm gonna go easy mode it.
I tried doing. I generally, if I ever replayed a game, I would put it up. Like New Game Plus type stuff. I would put it up to the hard difficulty, but I would just leave it on normal or medium, and I'm quite happy with that. That is how it's supposed to be. Anything past that, you've got to have a lot of experience with it or with certain types of games. So yeah, that was always the next step up if I needed to, but most of the time I would be more interested in, I don't know, I suppose getting through and not getting completely stuck at a bit. The one game I tried to do that, I remember, I think you lent me BioShock one, and I remember playing that, and it was around the time when I had very, very, very little to do in my life, much like now. But back then, I was like, do you know what? I'm going to start playing games, on the higher difficulty, on like hard, not an insane or anything, but on hard, because I just want to really feel like I've accomplished something.
What a game to start it on, Chris.
Yeah, well, I started it, and I got to the second sort. I think it's like the docks or something like that. But the second section anyway, and I got to there, and I called it a day, and I don't think I went back to it until about 3 months ago when I started it again, because it was on PlayStation Plus, and I played it on easy, and I completed it, and I'm quite happy that I finished it.
Nice.
So, but anywho, I was sort of playing around with Tony Hawk's, and obviously part of the fun is creating your own character, isn't it? And I know you always go for like completely crazy looking Frank Bunty. Well, let's give the guy the weirdest, longest arms possible. Let's make him super skinny, but with massive shoulders, huge Chun-Li thighs, green and pink hair, mohawk, dreadlocks, whatever you can give him.
I miss Frank Bunty.
Yeah, I was always the opposite. I always make as close to me as I can, and I was designing me. And the annoying thing is, you can't put glasses on a person, which is a bit annoying. So there's no glasses, and it's not even like there are some that you can unlock later on. There's just there's no glasses. So,
I could have swore there used to be at least sunglasses.
There might have been, but it's been rebuilt from the ground up. It has been totally rebuilt. They've just used the sort of, I guess, the apps and stuff. So there's none of that. So that's already, it's not quite looking like me. You can put a bit of stubble on the character, but no glasses. You can't do you can do a total skinhead, like totally bald, but that just doesn't look right. I have a bit of hair. I have a 1.5 or whatever, or 2, but you can't do that other than having a little mohawk, like a tiny little mohawk. You can have a big one, but you can have a little one. So I put a little one on, and then not quite there. Put a baseball cap on so that covered the hair, and I'm starting to get there now. And Shell was watching me do it, and she said, "Your character just looks like an old person who's trying to be down with the kids."
And you're like,
I've got like
yes.
I look like, I suppose, the me version of Steve Buscemi in Mr. Deeds, or it's one of the Adam Sandler films, isn't it? Where he's like, hey, hey children, or whatever it is. That meme.
Amazing.
So apparently, but now I've unlocked a few extra things, and I've got a better hat now. I've got better shoes and stuff. He says, all right, now you don't. Now you look a bit younger and a bit more like you're supposed to be skating.
Excellent.
Yeah, I would recommend it. It's good. It's like 28 quid. It's going to give me a lot of time out of that 28 quid, and that's before I've even got into the even trying it online, or without even doing the design of skate park, things like that. So feels like
I love going on trying some of the people's like skate parks. Used to be on memory cards on the PS1 and the Dreamcast.
Yeah. I know this is slightly off topic before we get onto something else I was going to segue to, but talking about trying other people's parks. So Mario Maker, right, on the Switch. So I was looking for some new 3DS games to play. I thought, let's give Mario Maker a go. But apparently they've shut down all the servers, so that's it for that now. And I heard that the one on the Switch wasn't necessarily as popular as they thought it was going to be, and that has also got an end date now that they're going to shut that down.
Oh, really? Because that was going to be one of our purchases coming up.
Yeah. don't know, it seems crazy. Maybe it's just that you can't upload your new ones, but maybe all the old ones will still be there. But it just sounds like a bizarre move. But
The first one on this, because they've got Super Mario Maker 2.
yeah, well, Mario Maker 1 was on the DS and the Wii U.
Right, okay. Yeah, no,
Mario
it's fine.
Maker 2 is on the Switch.
So Mario Maker 2 is still going to be all right with that. Still fully supported in Super Mario Maker 2, but the first one is a no-go. They shut down the level upload feature for Super Mario Maker 1, but Super Mario Maker 2 we're all right with. March the 31st is when the servers are shutting down for Super Mario Maker.
Okay, for the first one. Fair enough. Yeah, the DS one apparently shut down long ago. Just not worth getting now.
Anyway, that was one of the fun things, like Little Big Planet and that sort of stuff. Like
exactly.
The amount of lifespan that these had is
and something like Dreams as well. It's the same thing, isn't it? Really?
Oh, by days, Dreams and Shenmue. Someone is making the Hazuki Legacy in Dreams.
Brilliant.
And he started. There's no bad guys in it yet. It's literally just you go through Debuita and you literally have a look around, Nose and stuff. But it looks amazing. It's all in VR. He's literally done it with the headset, so he's making Shenmue VR. And I'm like, oh my God. He said it's going to take him a lot longer to try and fathom how to put the AI in and actually make it like combat and stuff, but he's trying his best. And he's got a little Patreon and stuff set up, so if you want to actually help fund his time so he can actually create it properly, you can do. But I watched a couple of his YouTube vids of the creation of it, and I was like, that's amazing.
Wow.
Like, that is going to be so much fun. So I might have to try and figure out a way I can play Dreams without having a PlayStation.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
It
seems like so much effort. I can't see how they can make game creation so easy that you can come up with something that is as incredible as the stuff I've seen.
I know, right? How
it seems bizarre.
Amazing is some of the stuff that's been created in Dreams.
It's like, so I've mentioned how much I enjoy playing Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah,
on many occasions. And when I got my Mac, I didn't have a job. I felt like I want to play another Roller Coaster Tycoon. But the only one that works on the Mac was I think it's called Classic. It was like one and two sort of bundled into one. They re-released it a few years back. But I started looking into Planet Coaster, and ever since I saw about that game, I've been dying to play it. And it finally came out on the Mac in November. I didn't even realize. But fortunately, January sales came along and it was like £6. So I grabbed it, and it looks amazing. And the scope of it is brilliant. But there's something about the limitations of Roller Coaster Tycoon. Even number 3, where they went to 3D, it still kept it to this really straightforward grid system. It was just the original ones, but you could move the camera anywhere. To say this is where you can build it. These are the tiles. It sort of restricts you just enough to keep it fun without getting totally lost in it. I feel like Planet Coaster. I played the first level, and you literally can just do anything you like. Paths can go anywhere. You can tilt tracks. It's not just like a set. Bank here, put a loop there. It's amazing, but it almost like made my head hurt because I'm trying to think, right, what can I do here? Like, I've literally got infinite possibilities, and it was almost too much. I'm sure the more I play it, the more I get used to it, it'll start to make a heck of a lot more sense.
That's the issue I've got with it. Is the fact that like I love some of the creations people are making on it, and I've watched countless parks that people have created, and like some guy's actually gone around and he's created the entire Walt Disney World, so you can just go around it all, do all the rides and stuff, and it looks amazing. People have created like the Alien film, like the franchise and stuff.
Yeah,
we've made all these parks dedicated to it and roller coasters dedicated to it. I'm like, this looks amazing, but I know if I got that, I would literally just sit and stare at the blank stage and be like, nope, and just turn it off. I'd love to be able to be that creative, but I just don't have that bone in my body. Like, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, I think, was my cut-off. I was like, this is really fun. You can go underground and like do all that. And I was like, yeah, I can make this with the cheats from Limited Money and stuff. I can do this. This is awesome. But then it hit a stage where I was like, I'm going to try and do it properly. And the park would close down due to lack of funds after about 6 months. And I'm like, oh, I can't do this. And I was like, I can't do it. I'm not creative enough to try and rinse it and create the park the way it should be. But I love the fact that people are doing this. It's great.
Absolutely. I've watched. I back before I could play it. I was watching some YouTube channels that are just, well, a lot of them are all about theme parks, and a lot of them have jumped on that as streaming some gameplay. And some of them they've made are incredible. And there's a Back to the Future add-on that gives you some little sort of there's no rides, I don't think, for that one, but it gives you or maybe there's one. I think it's like a shooty ride, but it gives you some Back to the Future assets. There's a whole Ghostbusters pack which gives you loads of stuff, which looks amazing.
How awesome is some of the stuff on it?
But again, I feel overwhelmed with stepping into this. So I've played, like I say, I've done the first park, finished it, and went, right, okay, yeah, I'll get on to another one in a few days, and I've just not got back to it yet. But not to put the game down, it's amazing, but it's just a little bit overwhelming. But yeah, do you know what might be overwhelming? Come March the 12th this year, Reg.
Well, it's a week after my birthday, so I'm hoping.
Okay. Oh, and I might actually be in the country this time.
Yeah, we still won't be allowed to see it, but you'll be in the country, so you might as well be in Japan.
We'll see. It's just the overwhelming thought that Mass Effect Legendary Edition might actually be getting released on that day. So there'd be 3 ridiculously huge games ahead of you to play.
Which basically means that you won't be touching Planet Coaster anytime soon. By the time you finish Tony Hawk's.
Yeah.
The Mass Effect. So basically we can go back to just keep on talking about our old games for a very, very long time.
Yeah, it's true. Very true.
Love it. But that's exciting. Finally, after all this time.
Yeah, but it's one of these, not an official release date. It's a retail from based in Singapore, and they've posted March 12th, and a professional looking advert, but nothing new. All they've done is just taken the box art that was sort of teased originally. So it's hard to say whether what they've got is genuine or not, but we shall see.
Yeah, I can't see it being much later than that, to be fair, because at the end of the day, I know they're swapping engine and changing bits and pieces around to it, but it's been in the works for years, hasn't it?
I'm sure.
Let's be honest. So it's literally just a matter of time.
Mm. It seems crazy that they've waited this long. I don't understand the thought process, unless it is that they wanted to make sure they were working on the next
gen. Yeah, of course it is, mate.
Not even that. I suppose for it to work on the next gen. I meant that they would be working on the next game. But
okay.
For it to, it's true for it to be working on the next. Yeah. So the new consoles got released, and every time a new one comes out, it feels like, right, you can make the jump over to this now. There's very rarely is there any backwards compatibility, so it's like, here's your new games on, and you just get full on into it, and they're just full steam ahead on this. But this new generation, with so much backwards compatibility, and all these games are like, well, it's not just that it plays on your new console. If you buy this version, you also get a PlayStation 5 upgrade, for example, or the Series X upgrade. It feels like a really weird, sort of soft launch of this new hardware. It doesn't feel like it's this brand new generation. It feels like, oh, here's a Pro Plus version.
Yeah, because if you notice as well that there's the marketing campaigns for the pair of them now have gone. At the beginning, and it's like, yeah, come pre-order this. The future's here. This is going to be amazing. Ever since then.
So what's the point?
Well, hopefully in 3 days' time,
Right.
The next huge wave of shipment is coming into the UK.
All right.
They've stated that it's going to be worldwide, but over here, they've said that they're aware they've severely disappointed fans and stuff. But they're hoping come January the 14th. Originally it was going to be the 7th, but due to I'm guessing Brexit. But due to
a lot of things,
due to some
COVID
issues,
mutations, Brexit,
in coming through into like getting the shipments over, they had to push it back. So apparently it's going to be Jan the 14th. So hopefully, come like this time next month, I don't think there's going to be any shortage anymore. I think you can literally just be able to pick one up the way it should be, and I reckon then you might see a downturn in games going, hey, we're going to do a really nice graphical upgrade so you can play it on the PS5 and stuff. I think it's going to be like, literally, we're not releasing the PS4 version, just fucking play it on the PS5. Because it'll take it will take a few months to do it. Like same with the PS3 and PS4 versions, we always have like the HD upgrade and stuff to bring it over, or like the remastered edition or the complete edition coming out on the PS4 when it's also on the PS3. So you're always going to have that coming across for the first sort of six months of this gen. But I completely agree with you. With we bought Mike for Christmas, Watch Dogs Legion, on the PS4 because he's got a PS5, and we're like, we can't afford a PS5 game for you. Me and Mark chipping in together to get him for Christmas and stuff. So we're like, we can't afford that. What we can do is we can afford a really cheap version.
Get the PS4 version, which you get
you've got
the digital upgrade.
So you got the code so you can play a PS5 title, and it's enhanced to the PS5.
Even the boxes, it might sound really, fickle and stupid, but it's like the PlayStation 5 boxes look exactly the same as the PlayStation 4 boxes, except it's a white stripe instead of a blue stripe. Yeah,
but you know what? I'm a sucker for that. I really like that.
It just doesn't, but that doesn't feel like they look different enough. They're even every shop I've been in, I've seen they're all mixed in together, and the Xbox boxes are worse. They literally are the same boxes, an Xbox box with a little black banner that says Series X and Xbox One on it. It even says, look, we work on both. So it's just, I don't know. It really doesn't feel.
It's this
like a big
family
deal.
of consoles that I think Microsoft brought the idea in. I don't like it.
No, because then you're losing out on it being this huge big deal of like, right, next generation we're here, but it's not. It just feels like here's another version of the generation you're already in.
Yeah, it's like I was chatting to Mike the other day because on the last pod we were saying that he's completed like 1,000,001 games over the Christmas break, and I was like, no, you complete like the 1,000,001 games, and I was like, how are you finding the pad? And he was like, you know what, I completely forgot about the haptic for most of it. And I was like, what? He went, it's like it does work. It does, but I'm so used to it now that it just feels like I've always had it. And I was like, oh. He was like, you get so used to it now. And he's like, and that's bad because I've only got about 6 games for it. And he was like, but I think because I sit there and batter it for so long each game that my hands just get used to the and like just adjust to it. And he's like, so the sensation is no longer like, oh my god, this is amazing. He's like, it's subtle, but
obviously you're gonna get. Yes, it was like when you first got the ROM pack on the N64, and it was a big deal at first, and then the more you use it, it becomes less of a thing. But
I still love that though. I still love the rumble sensations in games. Like I don't think I'll ever get bored of that sensation, especially like Resi and stuff when you're playing it and your heartbeat is going through the thing and your pad just going.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god, and it brings me into it more. It's like tense. I know it's there, and I really embrace that. Like I know a load of people turn it off.
Don't get me wrong. I would miss it if it wasn't there, but it's
become the norm now, isn't it? Yeah.
There's things that they did with the PlayStation 4 pad that they just barely bother with. I mean the touch sensor, and the speaker as well. Like the speaker, I forget it's there, and then
and every now and again a random game will just pop up into it.
But really annoying ones as well. Like me and Shell the games we play together are pretty much the Lego games. We'll do co-op on the Lego games, and we're going through Lego Harry Potter at the minute. And you'll be running around, and you might be near, I think, like a collectible or something, and then suddenly, whichever pad is player 1, even if it's player 2 that's closest to the item that's triggering this thing, will start doing this little like this thing, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a game like that has gone, oh look, we've got this technology, let's use it. But there's so many games that just ignore it. I know there's plenty that go, okay, let's use it as your, I don't know, I can't remember the game. It might have even been with The Last of Us, when you find the tape, like you find little tape players when you're running around, and when you press play on them, they play out of the speaker on the controller. Don't think it is Last of Us. Yeah, well, no, because I've not played that on PlayStation 4.
All right,
but I mean, I'm sure there's a few games that do it. Huh?
Yeah, there is, and it's the same as I want to say, what game was it? There was a game I was playing, and it's the radio chat that comes through.
Yeah, exactly.
On your pad, and I'm like,
things like that.
What's that? Like, that's really irritating. So I get it, and I understand. Like they really didn't use that like to its full advantage, and hopefully they do, because Mike was saying each game does have it, the use of it. It's there, but I think he's just literally just smashed through like games 9 hours a day, just sitting there, just literally his hands are now used to the way the pad goes. But I do hope that they stick with it, because reading how I love the fact that when you're getting near the an empty clip in a gun, that it gets harder to shoot the trigger and stuff like. Yeah. I love the sounds of all that sort of stuff, and I hope it's just not Hyperbole where it sounds like it's amazing, and you're playing it, you're like, oh, it's sound, it doesn't really make much difference.
I agree, and so do Microsoft, apparently, because they put out a survey asking their users, would you be interested in a similar sort of thing?
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's unsurprisingly, it was pretty unanimous. People saying, yeah, it sounds good.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to be like, everyone turned around like, no, we're fanboys, we're sticking with you. No, we're not interested. And the one thing that gets me with Microsoft is, and I didn't realize it, but they've got a deal with Duracell, which is why all their pads are still AA battery operated. Apparently, when the original Xbox came out, in order to get more money and get advertising out there, they made a deal with Duracell. It's like when you see the Duracell adverts, it's always the Microsoft pad that he's holding, the Xbox pad. Like the bunny now, and he's like, "Come on, gamepad, don't let me down. You've got to get me through the holidays and stuff." Going through that, Microsoft made a deal with Duracell for like 10 years or 15 years or something like that, and they recently they renewed it towards the tail end of the 360 days, and apparently now they regret it, because apparently it can slow down the technological advancements or something you want to be called it to the Xbox pad, which is why it's always so similar. They don't really advance much to it, apart from when they do the Elites, because that's the only pad that they don't have to deal with. But any normal Xbox pad that comes with the console, or you can buy separately, that's not an Elite controller, has to have the Duracell batteries that come with it. But yeah, so that's that's the really interesting fact about the Xbox pad. So I'm wondering if that's maybe why they haven't put in the likes of the haptic figures and triggers and stuff like that.
Maybe.
It just literally just smash through the battery. Because if it's doing it on the PS5 pad anyway, where you've got to charge it after 3 to 4 hours, I imagine if you're having AA batteries, it'll just rinse through the batteries like I don't know what.
It is crazy that. I wasn't even aware of that, because it's been so long since I've had an Xbox.
Yeah, I can't remember who was. Someone I know, or a follower, on Twitter, put up going, if you want to save yourself some money to put towards making a better console or getting more consoles out, why don't you replace these with a third part, like a really cheap knockoff battery, and put up a picture of the Canada equivalent of Morrison's own, Walmart owned batteries or something like that. And then the guy came out and was like, well, we've actually got this deal with. It's like, oh, that's an interesting fact.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. With an Nerdity podcast, you learn something new every week.
Mm-hmm. But going back to old games, me and Ash have now completed Luigi's Mansion 3.
Woo! Well done.
And it was bloody brilliant.
I bet.
It was one of those that I was like, it's done brilliantly because it's timed, like, so it never got boring and it never got infuriating to the stage where you're like, oh, we're traipsing through this, we've got to go through that, we've got to do that. It was just, everything was fun all the way up until the end. But when it ended, I was like, I really enjoyed that. And it's been ages since, it's like with you, it's like we always play the set games that come through. So this was like a complete offshoot. We're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to try this with something new. Instead of like a 2D Mario or Lego, those like the two games that we always played. So I thought, I'd try something different. And yeah, bloody loved it. And now it's over. I'm like, I know I've got Cyberpunk to go back to now, but I really enjoyed doing that one. Obviously she's got like Galaxy and all the other stuff, and then we've still got the new Super Mario Brothers 2 to get through, because we are shit at the 2D Super Mario when we play it together. It's so much harder when it's the two of us, and it shouldn't be. It should make it a lot easier, but we are awful at it. We love it, and we argue like I don't know what when we play it because of sheer frustrations. But it's bloody brilliant, which is why we're thinking, you know what, we could get the Super Mario Maker 2, because it's a 2D Mario, but when the game ends, we've got 1,000,001 other levels that we can play that other people have created. So it's still as though you've got an unlimited game to get through.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I am.
Have they do they do much with the Virtual Console in the way of like GameCube games and the like?
Not GameCube at the minute, but there's a shed ton of NES and SNES games. Yeah, that are on there. Hopefully they will be bringing some GameCube games on at some point. But yeah, they are constantly increasing. Yeah, because the annoying thing is, they only put something like 20 games up for each originally, and then they're like, oh, here's another 3. And each month that you sub for, you get like another 2 games or 4 games for the SNES and the NES. It's not just like, here's a back catalogue for 400 games. Here's 400 games.
I'd seen that. Yeah, it's the same with they add them, but they remove them as well, though, don't they? It's like what's the one they did for the 35 Mario 35 was only going to be for a certain amount of time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And annoyingly, we never got around to grabbing it. And I think it goes in March, doesn't it? I think it got a while. I think it was like a year from when it got announced. I can't believe though how many games are turning 30 and stuff for Nintendo now. So you got like Donkey Kong, which is turning 40. I think Zelda is turning 30.
But you've got to think all these classic franchises that they've got all came around similar sort of times. They're all NES games originally, weren't they? And if they're still hanging around now, then they're going to have to be. I'm very, very much looking forward to whatever they do with Zelda 35, because that is definitely going to be treated in the same way as Mario. I'm certain of it.
Yes, mate. It's got to be done.
Give me a Game and Watch with Link to the a Game and Watch with Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, just a couple of the classics.
That's what I was going to get Ash for Christmas.
Link's Awakening.
Yeah,
you should.
I know. I went for the Super Mario collection instead. Damn it! I completely forgot that was that. Well, it's a birthday in May.
That's a lot of game though for that much.
It is, and she's really enjoying Galaxy, to be fair. She went, I think we spoke last week, didn't we, and said that she just jumped straight into it after going to Super Mario 64.
Has she played Sunshine yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I do feel, I think I said it last week badly, but Sunshine and Galaxy at least look like modern games. You can tell by looking at 64 that it's an old game. And potentially for someone like a casual gamer like Ash, I can imagine that puts the person off a bit. But it's just like, look at the status. But if there's nothing really they can do other than completely remaster it to make it look modern. But whereas those ones, GameCube was the point when stuff started to look great, I think, and still look great even what we talking 10 years later.
Yeah, 100%. Do love the GameCube, to be fair. That's what I'm saying. Like, I hope, because there's so many good titles on the GameCube that this Virtual Console needs to come out.
Yeah.
Really, you do really need to stick it on the store, especially because like the Wii and the Wii U now have just been abandoned. Like, they really need to just put a load of decent titles on the Virtual Store, because they will make bank. There's so many amazing titles on there that are now no longer playable. And like,
yeah, I'm curious how easy it is to port them, and I suppose if it was very easy, they'd be doing it.
I don't know. I'd like to think so, but it's the same as like how easy the games were to be backwards compatible for like the Microsoft and stuff.
Yeah,
you can, like Jade Empire or the original titles and stuff.
I suppose look at the likes of the Mario 35, Mario All Stars 2. The people had a lot of complaints about them because they are just running emulators, right?
Yeah.
Like 64 has all these little glitches that people have seen from running it on an emulator. So people knew straight away that's what it was. But at the same time, if that's possible, then maybe that's what they need to do. It can't be that difficult.
No, and I'm not being. I would pay the 40 quid or 45 quid, whatever it was for that.
I think that's clearly the thing that holds them back. They could just go, right, here's these games, here's hundreds of GameCube games, here's loads of N64 games, but they know that they sort of lose their value if they do that. They want to just be able to go, right, hey, big deal, we're releasing this, with 4 versions of the game and all the sequels and everything, and it's going to cost you 40 to 50 quid.
Yeah.
They know that they can do that.
I would happily pay 40 quid, 45 quid for like a disc like we had when the GameCube came out, and you bought Wind Waker, and you got Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, and the original Zeldas, and the CD soundtrack.
That's it.
Like,
it's almost. I find it crazy that they did that. Like that they went, all right, here's the fact that I know that they re-released them years later and pay and charge full price for them. Still, to get them on 3DS, to get Majora's Mask, I think it is, it's still like £35. It's still full price if you can find it. But they just went, all right, well, here's Majora's Mask, here's Ocarina of Time. Oh, plus here's the 2 versions of the game, the Master Quest versions of the games that you never got to play before because they were never released over here. Here they are, totally for free. Here's a bunch of discs, game, do what you want with them. And we did what we wanted with them by taking them home ourselves.
We did.
They scanned at 0. We didn't just take them. We scanned them in and sold them to ourselves.
We did with every game that we bought. Yeah. Exactly. We were like, we'll have another one then, please. It's not our fault that no one wanted to buy GameCubes.
No, absolutely. Apart from you, because you bought one every week.
Yeah.
Next week,
But that's it was like, right, I bought it like on the Saturday, and then on the Thursday we'd be like, are we going to the pub tomorrow? We're like, yeah, it's karaoke. Right, okay. So I'd just walk in the morning with my GameCube and be like, can I return this on the 10-day trade-in? Like, yeah, sound. Like, brilliant. Right, money back on that. Go to the pub. How much money have I got left? I've still got enough left to buy the GameCube back. Right, go back, buy the GameCube again. Just rinse, repeat the cycle. Really brilliant. Loved it. But while we're talking about awesome collections of games, sir, I know we've discussed this off pod because I was so freakingly excited about this.
Yeah.
And safe in the knowledge that I probably will never be able to afford to get this. But have you seen the limited runs collection of the Scott Pilgrim versus the World game?
Yes. And I hate limited runs because they're always so good, but always so expensive. But at the same time, almost worth it, but just I could never bring myself to spend that much.
I have never, ever wanted a limited edition, a limited run game more than this. And they did a
Shenmue 3, like the complete edition, didn't they? Where you got the little figurines and everything. You got not even that. I suppose the box does look awesome.
This box,
yeah.
Oh my god! So they've got 3. So Scott Pilgrim versus the World is finally coming back out on Thursday. Thursday to play on PS4, Switch, PC, Xbox, and it's the complete edition. So it's got all the add-on packs, the DLC.
So you get knives, you get Wallace, DLC. You get the volleyball game, the dodgeball.
Yeah, the dodgeball and the battle royale. So you get
this game was out when the film came out, right? Just to give people a bit of background, and it's basically a 16-bit looking 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up, but one of the best, if not the best, of its kind to come out in the last 10 years. It's so good.
I'm going to throw out there and say it is my most favoritist 2D beat 'em up of all time. I think it far surpasses the likes of Streets of Rage and Final Fight
and Simpsons arcade game. That's big words there, Reg.
It honestly is. Like, Simpsons arcade game was fun until you played it again on the PlayStation Store.
I know.
And you're like, that's a bit of a letdown. Maybe it's so good, but this game is still phenomenal.
So good and so hard as well. I never completed it. Never finished it.
Did you not?
No.
Not even on easy.
All right. I don't remember whether there was difficulty levels on it, but I just remember I don't think I ever got past maybe. Wasn't even that far in. I think Lee's Palace. I think when you're fighting what's his name? Brandon Routh's character. So that's the 3rd Evil X. So that's not very far at all.
Wow.
I don't know.
The Todd Ingram?
Todd, yeah. Oh no, do you know what? I did fight Roxy, so I've got a bit further, but yeah, not got much further than that. But
to be fair,
it's so good.
It took me and Dave a while to beat Gideon at the end. Like, it was a good half a night just to literally get past Gideon. But it was so worth it. But now, my friend, is your time to do it, because not only can you play it on your PS4 and Switch, I believe it is cross-play as well. So if you have your PS4, I can play it on the Switch with you.
Oh, right. Okay. I thought you were going to say cross-play to like on the Vita or something like that, because that would make my day.
Oh, I don't care about that. But I
know you don't.
It's the fact that I can play Scott Pilgrim versus World.
The co-op is cross-platform.
Yeah, so that we could actually, we could complete it together.
Right. I'll go with that.
Be all glorious. So when this game comes out, Limited Run have announced 3 physical copies that you can purchase. One, which is just called the Complete Edition, and that's $34.99,
which is pretty good.
Which is, to be fair, great, because Limited Run games are always expensive because they're limited runs of the games. But this one's got a reversible cover, so it's got like an amazing Sonic Adventure spin on the reverse side of it. But Scott Pilgrim doing like a hey finger click, just like the Sonic Adventure screen, which is awesome.
Yeah, well, that one was drawn by Brian Lee O'Malley as well.
Yes, and then on the other side of it, it's just got like an awesome montage of all the characters and stuff. Which
the usual sort of 7 Evil X's, the one everyone's seen like the movie poster for and the book cover and things like that. It looks like that.
Yeah. And then for $54.99, you have the Classic Edition, which comes in like a box that looks like it belongs on the Mega Drive. And it's awesome. And not only do you have that, but it actually comes with a full color instruction booklet, which I know might sound like, oh, great. But this day and age, actually having a fully illustrated or just instruction booklet is amazing. So that's awesome. You also get stickers, like a sticker sheet with art from the game, the physical soundtrack, which is by far one of the greatest soundtracks to a computer game, and Managuchi. You also get a Clash at Demon Head concert ticket.
Yeah, we get that with every version, which is pretty good, but it's only a bit of cardboard, so it's not that bad.
But that looks nice. And you get like a map, which like a proper full-on overworld map, which looks like the Super Mario World map, which is just an awesome-looking thing. But then Dan becomes the greatest thing I think my eyes have witnessed, and this is the KO edition.
Yeah.
So this is a KO from my bank account because it's $139.99 dollars.
Which probably means about 120 quid. It's probably not far off.
About 120 quid. But not only does this come, obviously, with the game and the climate shell, so it comes with the actual like Mega Drive box, so it looks pretty cool. You also get what the class as a roadie collector's hard shell roadie collector's case. So it looks as though it's like a speaker case that you put it in, like a proper hard black, like a turntable style box, which the DJ's very round. You open that up, and then it's got like a panel, like a diorama.
That's it. Yeah.
Of Sex Bomb playing on stage. But not just that. When you open it up, sound plays from Anna Managuchi doing the soundtrack of them playing, and the spotlights actually work on it, and they turn around and light up, and it looks fucking incredible.
That's so good.
And you also get a shed ton of other things. So you get everything I've just mentioned. You also get the contents in the case can be accessed by lifting the concert stage. You get a CD and cassette soundtrack.
Yeah, the cassette soundtrack.
Which is awesome. Guitar picks. You get 3 of them. The Sex Bomb one. So 1 light, medium, heavy gauge. You get a pin badge. You get premium high gloss foil 7 Evil X trading card sets.
Yeah.
2 sticker sheets. The hardcover Scott Pilgrim versus the World strategy guide. And you also get the one of the most impressive things ever is drumsticks, full size wooden drumsticks with Scott Pilgrim rocking out on it, and they look awesome.
It does, and you know what? It's quite a good load of stuff for $140. It's actually not terrible, but it's definitely out of my budget. I don't think I could bring myself to spend that much on a game, but there's a lot of cool stuff there.
It's what so I was sitting here chatting to Mike over it this morning, and I'm now working from home, I think, for good.
Right.
And me and Ash were saying that we're going to get literally right above where I'm sitting now. We were going to have 3 shelves put up, which I was like, one of the shelves was going to be full of like all my gaming stuff, like my figures and whatnot. Right. And then 2 shelves dedicated to stuff that we both wanted. But she wanted a place where I could show off like my Landy statue, and like my Assassin's Creed collector's ones that look pretty awesome, all that sort of stuff. And then I seen that this morning, I was like, oh my god, I would love that. Literally just above me right now, that Scott Pilgrim KO edition would look insane there. But I know now, I've been talking about this on the pod with Ash sitting there right now. There's no way I could be like, oh yeah, I've seen this. This has just come out for like 30 quid. Yeah, it's amazing. so now there's no chance I can actually get this.
And the thing is, there's also, there's loads of extra things that they're selling as well. Like you can get a Switch case, which is a reasonable price. That's only $15, reg.
See, that's good.
Yeah, you can buy loads of pin packs. So these are all $15 each, but you can get like one with Kim and Stephen Stills, one with Knives and Negascott, Ramona and Gideon, like all double pin packs. But you can also, though, where is it? Yeah, you can buy a T-shirt or a hoodie, and the hoodie looks amazing. It's a zip-up hoodie. It's got the Sex Bob-omb logo on the front, and on the back, it's got the cover, the game cover, and they look incredible. $36.99.
Oh my days! I've not even been on that part of the website.
No,
I literally just went straight to that collector's edition because I got sent there, and I was like, "Oh my!"
And see those, I would almost be more tempted with those. I would love to have like the Anna Managuchi CD, the tape, the box, the Mega Drive style case, the drumstick. All of that. But
that T-shirt, mate. That T-shirt is just.
It's the hoodie. I love the hoodie. The hoodie looks amazing.
Oh, you can get it in black as well. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the blue, but the black, 100% looks incredible. Yeah, I want that. I want that.
All right, let me know if you do buy it, because we can maybe save on shipping if I decide I want to join you.
Yeah, 100%. 100% want that. Oh, my days. I can't believe I'd never even bothered looking at that. I wonder if that means then this is going to be bad, not only for the audio on this podcast, but for my actual life itself. You know how I never knew they did that? I wonder if they did that for Shenmue as well.
I don't remember seeing anything about that.
In fact, you know what? No, because Insert Coin have the thing for Shenmue, don't they? So, and annoyingly, I went on the other day just to see if you could get. I was looking at my old Facebook memories that came up, and I had my Jet Cola T-shirt, and I was like, love that one. Need to find that again. And Insert Coin now only have the hoodie. They don't have the T-shirt anymore. They don't have the jacket anymore. They've got nothing. They've only got the hoodie in.
Oh, wow.
And it's only in like XXL. Because I had a voucher code come through for Insert Coin, so you were going to get the hoodie for Christmas. But they didn't have medium. So I was like, because that would have been amazing. So apologies, but now you know. Yeah, there's lots of stuff I still want. You don't have anything else apart from the soundtrack, to be fair, for Shenmue. But yeah, so it's not that great. But yeah, some of that stuff for the Scott Pilgrim stuff looks insanely good.
It's some of the stuff they come up with is amazing. I'm always impressed by their stuff. I'm just never rich enough to go, yes.
The thing is, though, it's always just on the verge of just over. It's not like it's an insane amount over that I'm like, I couldn't pay that.
Well, you say that. I'm looking at the Detroit Become Human Collector's Edition now for $350.
Yeah, would that come with like an Android?
Yeah, an actual Android, yes. No, I mean, it comes with a statue of one of the characters doing something that I'm not going to mention because it would be spoilers. But yeah, you get a statue and a bunch of stuff. Let me see. Yeah, 10.6 inch tall statue with an LED halo light. I mean, it looks amazing, and the box itself just looks great. But
yeah, no, it does look pretty cool.
Not for $350, but yeah. But yeah, no, it's always good stuff.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I do like the look of the hoodie with the sex bob on the front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's gonna have to be.
Anyway, let's stop.
Yeah, sorry, we got completely distracted by that. On a separate note, you know how there's been loads of Star Wars games and stuff coming out recently, and talks of new games coming out for Star Wars.
Okay.
Lucasfilm have now decided to completely resurrect the Lucasfilm Games brand.
All right.
And they've done an announcement trailer, which they showed earlier on today.
Does this mean that EA have lost the rights or no?
I don't think so, because they're still showing bits of like Fallen Order and stuff that come through. But I think hopefully it just means that they're going to start appearing on, like, as their stamp of yes, you're allowed to have this.
Right, okay.
I think so, to speak. But yeah, apparently that's happening because it's going to be coming across like the Lego Star Wars games from the look of the sizzle trailer that's coming through. But yeah, it's now Lucasfilm Games is what it's been branded as.
All right. LucasArts. Bring back LucasArts.
Yeah, LucasArts was just so good. So many amazing point-and-click games.
Yeah, I got most of them recently, actually, on one of the crazy January sales. That's what I love about... I hate digital-only stuff because I like having a physical item, but I love it because of how cheap some of the stuff goes. And it's about £1.50, and I got both the Indiana Jones games. I got the Dig. I got Loom, which I never played, but I don't think I'm that interested in. But the Dig is fun. Sam and Max, all of them that haven't had
the good Sam and Maxes.
Yeah, exactly. All of them that haven't had like a a revamped version. So I've already got Day of the Tentacle and Full Throttle sitting in my GOG
Nice.
box.
Full Throttle was insanely good. Love that game.
Yeah, I never got that far with that one, but I feel like it's another second coming.
Yeah, you need to.
Now I've got a PC that I can actually play on as well, so I can actually play. See, this is the problem with Mac. You think that loads of the old games would be absolutely fine, but then I think the first Monkey Island works and the last one, but none of the ones in the middle. It's something strange like that, and it's quite frustrating.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Never mind. So what we didn't do this week, Reg, is have our super in-depth spoilerific talk about The Mandalorian.
We did not.
No. But it'll happen at one point. Just as long as everyone who's listening knows that without notice, if you are not up to date with Mandalorian, we're going to spoil everything.
Yes.
At some point in the next few weeks. We'll see.
And soon we'll be able to do it with the boys because we've only got 2 more episodes left.
All right. Well, you're taking your time with that, Reg.
I haven't had time to do it. So now that's finished, I reckon I'll be able to. Well, in all fairness, it's because I've not really had chance, like on dinners and stuff now with lockdown and stuff happening. It's not as though I can be like, right, take an hour out and do this. It's like entertain Oliver and play Oliver and stuff now. Or just like have a 5-minute chill while work's just go mental. So now that's hopefully coming to a bit of a standstill. I can be like, right, 5 minutes in. I even got up early this morning. So I got up early this morning to be like, I'm going to box off because I had half an hour left of like episode 6 or whatever it was. I was like, I'm going to watch that with the brew before I crack on with work. I've got a new guy starting today that's got train and stuff. And I'm just going to enjoy that. And I got up and Oliver was like, oh, you're up, Dad? Awesome. Let's go downstairs and play. I'm like, damn it. I just want to watch the boys. So, also, I was playing Turtles with Oliver the other day, and he said Mikey. So
wow.
I was like, yes, that's just all sorts of awesome. I'm very happy with that. And now when he's got Leo, Donnie, and 2 Mikeys. He's got like a big Mikey and a normal size Mikey to play. So I just need to get him a Raph, and then he's got the full set. But you go like, who's your favourite? And he points to Mikey, and he's like buzzing off the fact that he knows that Mikey's my favourite. So he's just like, yeah, Mikey's my favourite. And every time now we go to watch the Turtles on the telly, he'll laugh when Mikey's on and like point to his turtle and stuff. I'm like, yes, that's amazing.
You know, you will know when he's going to be in a mood with you in the future because he'll be a Raph man.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to show me, so I'm going to tell him how much I hate Michelangelo because that'll really hurt him.
And weirdly, remember years and years and years back for Christmas off Rich, I got a Guile figure.
Right.
It was on my desk for I don't even know why. I think we cleared out one of my bags or something, and it was in the bag. So I was like, I'll stick it on my work desk, make it a bit more like my work desk in work. And Oliver seen it and was like, I don't want to play with that. So I kept on like going like, oh, this is Guile, and like, oh, Guile going to play with the turtles and stuff. And then he, in his version, was like, yeah. I was like, oh my god, he said Guile. So he's also now said Guile. So he said Guile and Mikey, but he can't say many other things. But he can say the most important words. Can't say Shenmue yet, but he's getting there. Just
Most
keep
people
trying.
can't say Shenmue, let's face it.
No, that's very true. So if I start saying Shenmue and he points to the picture of the killer whale, I'm going to hurt him. But yeah, so
Dave, I'm going to mention this really, really quickly and not go any more in depth with it. But you know, Love Live, the anime series about
yes,
about school idol groups. So they've announced the next series that they're doing, and it's a whole new set of characters. But one of the characters is called Ren Hazuki.
Really?
Yeah. For everyone at home going, great, yeah. Ren is a character in Shenmue. Ryo's surname is Suzuki. And Ren and Ryo, kind of good friends.
Yeah.
Little bromance there. And then they have they adopt a baby and they name it after Ren, who dies in a horrible fight. I don't know. And then she goes into a school in Harajuku in Tokyo and decides she wants to be a pop star.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and Rio, her dad's sitting at home, and he's just always wanted her to be a big prize fighter, but no, she had to follow her dream. And he's just really better, and they don't talk.
And then he goes off on his next adventure, Shenmue 6, of murdering the, avenging the ability of her daughter following her dreams by.
Yep. But Reg, what a soundtrack it would have.
It would be the thing that dreams are made of, Dan.
Really. Anywho, right, it's been fun.
It really has been fun.
Yeah. We always start before we record. We're always like, "We've got stuff to talk about." And we're always like, "Yeah, I think so. We should be. We'll see." And we always blast past an hour.
Yeah, I was dubious this time around because I'm like, I don't think I've got anything to talk about.
Well,
and then turns out
Tony Hawk's and Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah,
there's your hour.
Nice.
Anywho, thank you for listening, and we will see you on Friday for Nerdo D&D. Please go and listen to
D&D. Yes.
Right. Thanks for joining me, Reg.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
See you soon. Bye.
Toodles.